All right, everybody. It's Tanya Smith here with Get Noticed with Video, and I am thrilled, as always, to be here with you on a Thursday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. So, we're going to ask a question, and we're going to try to answer that question. And this is what we do every single week right here, starting on Facebook, but then also broadcasting to multiple channels, including our YouTube channel. Our question for today that we're going to answer is this: how do you stand out with video? How do you stand out? It's a common question. It's one that I keep getting asked over and over and over again, especially now in this situation where we are almost forced to be on camera, right? There's a lot of people that are starting to find their wings on camera. So if you are a professional or a business owner and you want to stand out with video, how do you do that? That's what we're going to answer. All righty. I see someone there. Hello, hello, hello. If you're in my Facebook group, be sure that you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and give them permission so that we can see your face and see your lovely name and can acknowledge you personally. All right. Before we get started, as always, I'm going to go ahead and do my short intro video because I want to make sure to give you enough time, folks, enough time to join in. But we are going to be answering that question tonight. We're going to answer the question of how do you stand out with video? And in this case, I'm going to give a little miniature training. Natalia, it's beautiful. I love your name. I just love saying it. So thank you so much for showing up with me live and being here with me tonight. For those of you who are watching via replay, make sure you put a hashtag replay in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and play my very short intro video, and then we are going to get started and dive into our content for tonight. Hello, Sandra. I hope I said that right. Sandra versus Sandra. You'll have to let me know. And there is Miss Stacy. Happy Thursday, girl. All right, we're going to go ahead and get rolling with this short intro video, and I'll be right back. All right, again, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Tanya Smith with Get Noticed with Video. And what we do is basically deliver every single week some free training tips, tactics, strategies to help you to simplify how you can do more on camera and live video. So I am super excited to be here tonight to teach kind of a little miniature training on branding. And we're going to answer a question. And that question that we're answering for tonight is this: how do you stand out with video? So as I was mentioning just a little bit ago before our little intro video, one of the things that I'm finding, I hear a lot, I get that question a lot about how to stand out, because many people are thinking, you know what, now that everybody's Zooming, like everybody is on some form or fashion of a video platform, we're almost being forced to compete with other on-camera faces. Even if you are trying to become more of a professional and to use it for your business, you're finding that people are starting to kind of get the hang of this thing. And so you're trying to figure out, how do I differentiate myself? How do I stand out from the crowd and make sure that as a business owner, people really understand what it is I do and that I do things differently than maybe someone else who is selling or promoting a similar product. So first, I want to say hello, Miss Valerie Sokolowski. I'm actually on here live, so you're not even watching the replay. You are here with me right now. I'm answering questions. Michelle, it's good to see you as well. And then Marcia. All righty. Here we go, y'all. So we're going to answer this question of how you stand out. And I've actually prepared a few slides for you because we're going to do kind of a miniature training on personal branding. And some of you, like I know my buddy Valerie Sokolowski of Valerie and Company, is a pro when it comes to brand. And she's been talking about this topic for years. So if I mess up, you clean me up. But I've also been talking about personal branding. As a matter of fact, that's kind of where I started with my business. And specifically, we're going to focus on the topic of a UVP, a unique value proposition. So, as I mentioned, I have a few notes. I want to make sure to refer to them so we can keep this structured and get you out of here on time so you can go and do other things. But a UVP, what is it? So a UVP is a unique value proposition. Unique value proposition. Some people in the branding space and marketing space and sales space will call it a unique sales proposition. What is it that you can deliver that no one else can deliver? What is it that you do that no one else does? So when I named this particular video, it literally was top of mind for me because I had just been talking with a client who was asking this exact question. How do I differentiate myself? How do I show people that I'm different and unique? And the thing is, each and every one of us, it doesn't matter if we're selling or promoting something of a similar nature. Each and every one of us has a unique set of skills, past experiences. We are uniquely ourselves, and nobody else is going to be like you. And so what you offer and what you deliver can be differentiated. You can stand out as your own unique brand, even when it comes to video content. And so, of course, I'm going to speak in terms of video because that's what we talk about here at Get Noticed with Video. But just know that much of what we're going to talk about over the next few minutes applies to just about any content that you're sharing. So I want to walk you through 5 specific things that you can look at and you can do to get really clear on your UVP. So a UVP is a promise that you make about the type of experience people are going to have with you. It's the unique value that you deliver in the results that you give to your clients once you take them through whatever process or system that you're going to take them through. So what it does is it reaffirms for people at the end of that process that, yes, I made the right choice. This is exactly what I was looking for. And so when you're thinking about your UVP, let me give you a couple of examples that I wrote down. So if you think about Nordstrom's 365-day return policy, and I don't know if that's changed because a lot of the things that, we do now, especially with stores and shopping, is probably going to change as a result of everything we've been through this year. But think about that. Think about Zappos free two-way shipping. Think about Domino's pizza, hot pizza delivered to your door in 30 minutes, or it's free. They used to have that marketing campaign. I think that's changed. But there were reasons, there were unique selling points that you could take away from each of those statements because they were trying to differentiate themselves and to fulfill the customer's needs in a very specific way. So when you think, for instance, about Nordstrom's, people want to make sure that they're making the right decision with buying their clothes. And so giving them that lengthier extended period of time to return them kind of honed in on that need, that request that customers had. Zappos, people were really, really becoming uncertain about buying online. So they needed a way to differentiate themselves. So their service, they're known for their service, right? When it comes to dealing with Zappos and purchasing shoes, you're going to have an experience that's unlike any other type of experience that you have. Even if you're in person with someone, it's still going to be a superior level of experience online. And then the final one, Domino's Pizza, at the time that they had that statement about getting it to you in a certain time, I think that was before a few, litigation situations, but they were honing in on the fact that the pain point was that people often felt like their pizza was taking way too long to get to them. Nowadays, I don't know that I've experienced that or that you have experienced that, but definitely, you have to think in terms of what is the pain point that my customer, my client, or prospective client and customer, what is the pain point for them? What is it that I can solve like no one else can solve it, right? So for me, and I'll talk about my specific UVP once we talk through these different 5 Ps for finding your UVP. I love my acronyms and I love my shortcuts because it helps you to really have better recall. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and we'll go through them. So these are the 5 Ps for finding your UVP: your passion, your preparation, your persona or your personality, your power skills, and your promise. These are the 5 things that you can really take a dive into if you're looking for ways to figure out how you and your brand will stand out. So I'm going to dive into the very first one and we'll talk a little bit about that. So your passion is first. Let's go to that slide. Your passion is basically what you love to do. What do you love to do? What was your biggest pain or your wound in childhood, and who do you really love helping? All of these things can help you to figure out what it is you are going to be able to put together in your UVP, your unique value proposition for your video content. When you think about what you love to do and what you're passionate about, I'm going to go through these fairly quickly so that we can take some time to really kind of talk about them in relation to video. Your preparation is past experiences, things that have happened to you, a difficult experience maybe that you've gone through that's prepared you for your destiny. Character qualities that life has taught you along the way, or even training, programs, certifications, books, people that have taught you, your mentors. What are some things, some lessons that you've learned and connected with that really created the person that you have become, the entrepreneur that you've become? What's your persona? How do people describe you? If someone were to use 3 different words or phrases to describe you, whether it's your clients, your friends, your business partners, what are some of the things that they say about you? And which of these things do really resonate with you? If they're making statements about you as a person, what feels right to you? How would you express these type of assets, these words, these phrases in your video? How do you show people who you really are, especially when it comes to your lives? And then your power skills or your strengths. What are some special skills or strengths that you hold that other people rely on? What are you consistently being complimented about where people are saying, oh my God, I love Donna because here's something that she always does. I know she's super strong with. I'm going to ask her questions around this particular topic, right? Your power skills, things that you're super powerful at. And then what's the promise? Because this is the core. This is at the heart of your UVP, your unique value proposition. What do you offer? What are the results you deliver? And then what's the system or process that helps you to get there? So these are all things, these are all components of your unique value proposition. And this is what I wanted to spend just a little bit of time kind of talking you through. Now, if you were trying to take notes and I went through those super fast, don't worry, because this replay will be right here inside of my Facebook live stream. If you're on Facebook, you can certainly join my group and get access to our entire library of videos that we've been doing, because I do this every week. If you're on YouTube or you're on Twitter, you can also look at the replay and just stop it, pause it, take notes, and think about how you will answer these questions, because I think it's really important. It doesn't matter what type of content you're trying to create. If you're creating video content, if you're creating some other type of content to put out into the world on your social media profiles, on your website, wherever this might be delivered, in whatever media format you're going to deliver, you have to be thinking about, how do I stand out and differentiate myself? Because if you don't, you will not stand out. If you don't, what you risk is that you fall into the shadows where other people are really lit up, right? Other people are bright and shiny inside of the space that you want to play in. So when I think about, for instance, my own unique value proposition, the differentiator for me when it comes to creating videos and putting video content out there, all of the things that I just mentioned to you, all 5 of those things come into play. And as I really started practicing and doing more and getting more experience with live videos, especially, I realized that I did not have to be somebody else. And so when I was asked that question the other day by my client, and she was saying, hey, well, I've seen this person's videos and I'm not like that person. What I wanted to tell her, and I did tell her, and I'm telling you right now, is you don't have to be like anyone else when it comes to your video content. Certainly, you're going to find that there are ways that you can take away some ideas, right? There's going to be some things that resonate with you that you're going to want to try and you're going to want to experiment with. And that's absolutely fine. That's what we do. But eventually you're going to have to be comfortable in your own skin and find out what works best for you. If your personality is not one of the jump off the walls type of personalities, because mine isn't, that's not me, then who are you? What makes you the most comfortable at being you so that when you're on camera, people can relate to you as a real person, not someone who's made up, not someone who's trying to be someone else. If you're not a person who really is a teaching type of coach, then maybe slides with bullet points are not going to work best for you. Maybe it's just you speaking from your heart. And I've seen people do this and do this well and really attract a large following. But what are those things? If you can answer those questions that we just went through and really get comfortable in your own skin, you can really let that shine in your videos. So for me, the differentiator, the statement that I often tell people when I'm being interviewed for a podcast or for something else is that I work with people in a way that does not require them to become a professional videographer. For me, as I'm teaching video content strategy, it's about simplifying it as much as possible. You don't need the latest and the greatest video platform to do this. You need something simple and easy so that you can continue to focus on your services and what your professional expertise is in. So my goal is really to create live video content and strategies and training that simplify how you do video, how you get yourself on camera so that you don't get paralyzed with all the overwhelm that it can take. And you don't feel like you have to go out and buy thousands of dollars worth of equipment. But that's not the same as what other messages may be for other people who are in video marketing. They have a different audience and a different message. So you've got to figure out what is it that you teach and that you share that prevents you from blending in with everybody else. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that really resonates with you. If it does, just give me a high five or put a thumbs up emoji in the comments, because I want to make sure you're really getting that point that you do not have to be anybody else but yourself. Awesome. Thank you so much for the question. My Facebook page is facebook.com/Tanya Smith online. So definitely feel free to come on over and join us there. I am going to check and see if we have any questions, any other questions that are popping up. So if any of you are kind of wondering, I can do a little bit of mini coaching for the next couple of minutes, but I'm going to also, yes, you're very welcome. Thank you for the thumbs up. It's Erica. Yes, yes, yes. Donna said, yep. Yes, I've got someone else there with 2 thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Perfect. I wanted to make sure that point gets across that you don't have to be someone else. Some of you are concerned about low energy. Okay, especially because I tend to connect and attract a lot more introverts. It's just because it's who I am. And so if you're concerned about low energy on video, what I would share with you is this: make sure you're talking about a topic that you're passionate about. That's really key. So as we went through those 5 points for the UVP, make sure that you're talking about things that resonate with you, that you can get excited about. Because just because you're an introvert, it doesn't mean you don't like people. It doesn't mean that you don't have energy. It just means we show our energy in a different way. It doesn't mean we're going to jump up and down and sing and have music and, dance on camera. And that's okay. But we still have something to share that we are excited about. So I want you to really be thinking about what is it that is your passion point, and that's what you share. I used to overthink doing videos until I realized I just needed to be myself. Oh my God, Jackie, yes. I was watching a video that I did 10 years ago. I almost started to show you a clip of it. I probably will have to do that at some point. But when I watched that video, I looked like a robot because I was trying to be more of a corporate persona. So I was very structured and I had on like a suit jacket and I was very practiced and rehearsed. It wasn't just me talking. It felt like I was probably reading and it looked like I was reading. And so that is the important thing, is to make sure that you are truly yourself. This is a great question. Have you monetized from your live videos? Absolutely. Yes. And in some of my prior videos, I talk a little bit about monetization, but thank you for bringing that up, because that gives me a good topic to talk about coming up. A lot of people are asking, how do you monetize your live videos? And there's a number of different ways that we can do that. I would say ultimately and indirectly, the more consistent you are and the more you deliver high quality, relevant content to your audience, the better you have a chance at attracting people who are then going to look you up, take a peek at your Facebook site, or your page, take a peek at your website. Mine is getnoticedwithvideo.com. Look at your programs and services and see that if there's congruency in the message there, that you're going to be someone that they want to continue to follow up with and learn more from. Yes. So Stacy said, yes, I'm finishing up my course and dragging my feet on the video part. I still haven't launched. Okay, girl, we got to get you moving. I'm an introvert as well. Yes, it can be a challenge. Okay. But ultimately, as you think about your why are you getting on camera? That's going to be definitely key, as well as you're differentiating yourself from other people who are out there. The people who are strongest, I found, when it comes to video, are those who have really developed a reason for getting on every week or every 2 days or every day. They've got a reason behind it. And what happens is, it's kind of like this train that gets started. Once it gets in motion, people start hopping on the train with you, and they start pushing you and encouraging you and supporting you to keep it up, because you gave a message, you shared a point that what was just what they needed at the moment, right? So it is really about putting yourself out there and being consistent. I say that all the time, I know. So Valerie said, I can so relate, even being an introvert and doing podcasts. Doing Facebook Live is scary. It can be scary. Yes, it can. And as I mentioned at the very beginning of this, here's the thing. More and more people are stepping out of their video shells because they're kind of having to, with Zoom and with other types of requirements for meetings and network organizations and all these other things that are happening. So use that to help yourself to gain more exposure with video and to get more practice time. Are you also going to do LinkedIn Live? You know what? I have submitted for approval. It's very difficult to get LinkedIn Live approval for whatever reason, even though I do live streams weekly, still not yet. But yeah, I would love to. Lisa asked, do you save your live videos even if you're not happy with it on Facebook? That is an excellent question, Lisa. I tend to, there's a couple of things that I do. So it depends. I'm going to answer that with it depends. But here's what I do. I think that there is value sometimes in saving certain videos, even when you're not happy with it, because if you leave it up for a few days, you might, and this has happened to me, this is why I can say this. You might find, because I did a sample video. So let me give you an example, Lisa. I did this video that was just a test. I was testing out StreamYard. It had nothing to do with anything. I wasn't sharing any message points. I wasn't interviewing anybody. And that was one of the highest videos. Like, all that happened was I came on and I said, hey, I'm doing a test. I'm just trying this out. So for anybody who might be joining me, just know I don't have a message. I'm just saying hi. I'm testing this out. And so people were jumping on just to say, hey, I just wanted to say, hey, and let you know it's working. I can see you. I can hear you fine, right? It was one of the most watched videos. And so I left it up. Now, have I messed up and had some really bad videos? Yes. And a few of them I've left up because I knew that even if I felt like crap that day, because you're going to have those days if you're saying you're committing to doing this regularly, even if I felt bad, I was committed to making sure that I was consistently on video. And I knew that the content, I had taken the time to prepare to do that content, and it still was good content, even if the delivery wasn't the best. But there have been other times, Lisa, where I've said, you know what, I'm going to delete that because I really just don't want that out there affecting my brand, people's overall perception of who I am and what I can do. I don't want them to happen upon that particular video and then say, I'm not watching anything else because that one was so bad. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely going to have to make the decision at times to delete some. And then there's others that you'll leave up. Yes. Let's see. Stacy said, "You're right, Tanya. I get great feedback from my other online platforms. So consistency is important." That is so key. It's the quality of the content you're putting out, it's the preparation that goes into it, and then it's the consistency. Because if people can rely on you being there at a certain time, on a certain day, every week, every month, whatever you've committed to, then it's going to build your brand credibility. It's going to build trust, and people are more likely to buy from people that they trust. Okay. Can you share some ways you monetize your videos? I can, except we're about to run out of time. I'll give you a couple of really quick hitter ways and just say this high level, Sonia, because we're going to have to. I like to keep my videos focused on a specific topic. And since tonight we're talking about UVP, unique value proposition, I want to make sure that I save some time to actually recap that. So really high level, and I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but we'll dive into it in a future video, or you can go look at some of my past videos and you'll see some monetizing ideas. But one of the best ways you can do that is by repurposing your content. So if you're thinking in terms of how can I take this live video and monetize it? The first thing I would tell you is that you want to look at your system for repurposing that content into other platforms, other formats. And as a matter of fact, this coming Saturday morning at 9 a.m., if you go to getnoticedwithvideo.com/webinar, I should probably type that in, getnoticedwithvideo.com/webinar. If you go there, you will find that there is a Saturday 9 a.m. class that I'm going to be teaching. It's a webinar that's focused on ways to repurpose and get the most out of your Facebook Lives. So definitely join me over there if you have nothing else to do on Saturday morning and just want to sit in your pajamas with a cup of coffee and learn a little something. Come on over. All right. Can you use StreamYard on iOS? I do not have an iPhone, so somebody else who actually has Apple products can probably answer that for me, somebody who's in my group right now. But I'm pretty sure, here's the thing, StreamYard you can use on a Mac computer, but I would recommend Ecamm. So if you have a Mac computer, because here's the thing, when you're streaming, you need to use either a laptop or a desktop, not necessarily your phone, because there's better quality and it's not as glitchy. So if you're using a Mac, which is Apple, then you certainly will want to try out Ecamm. I think it's 2 M's in that, Ecamm. If you're using any other type of like a Windows computer like I am, then live StreamYard is absolutely phenomenal. Both of them can do different things and have different features. All right, so I hope I answered as many questions as I could get in there. Let me go ahead and do a quick recap of what we talked about tonight. So we talked about finding your UVP, and we talked about the fact that your UVP is the unique promise that you're fulfilling and that you're sharing with people about what your services, your products, your programs can do for them. And so to find that UVP, that unique value proposition, you're looking at your passion, the preparation that has taken place in your life experiences, your persona, what people say about you, your power skills, the things you're really super strong at doing. And then the promise is at the core, at the heart of your UVP. So that's a recap, a really fast recap of what we talked about and focused on tonight. It is a personal branding topic. We have some other things that are definitely going to be coming up. So to find out everything that is happening in Get Noticed with Video world, please feel free to go over to my website, getnoticedwithvideo.com, and you will find an events tab. So you just go to programs and then you'll see our events calendar, and it has a lot of different things that are popping up. We have our community chat in the morning with our private Facebook group, the Get Noticed VIPs. And then we also have Saturday morning, that webinar that I mentioned. And then we have a couple of other things that are popping up. We've got our on-camera confidence live course that's going to be taking place in a couple of weeks on May 2nd, I believe. And of course, we're here every week on live teaching a training topic. We don't always dive into specific training like we did tonight, but I'm always here to share with you some tips and strategies on how you can do more on-camera video or more live streams. So come on back, check us out. And thank you so much for participating this evening. It's time for me to go cook for my kiddos. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and disconnect, but I hope that you will leave me a comment, leave me a question. And if there's something I can answer for you that I did not answer live, then I'll be more than happy to kind of come back, circle back this evening and tomorrow and respond. I so appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. I do have Pat in my on-camera confidence course. I'm excited about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Valerie. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a wonderful evening and a very blessed upcoming weekend, and stay safe. All right. I will see you next time. Thank you so much.